Hello, in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make greeting cards with your artwork in Canva and print them at home so you can sell them in your online shops, take them to art markets, or gift them for special occasions and holidays. This is a really affordable and marketable way to put your artwork on products that you can easily make from home, and greeting cards are so popular to sell and gift all year round. Let's get started with materials. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to make A2 size greeting cards. Not only is this one of the most common greeting card sizes, but it's extra affordable for DIY card makers because you can print 2 of these cards per sheet of letter size paper, and I'll show you how to do that today. We'll be testing out 3 types of paper from Koala Paper in this tutorial. Thank you to Koala for gifting me these papers to test out in this tutorial. All products and discount codes will be in the description box below. Alright, let's get to the card design. Okay, so I am now logged on to Canva. I'm going to go to create a design, custom size, and we're going to make an 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches template. This is going to be the template size for an unfolded A2 size greeting card. And we'll click create new design. So now we're on that blank canvas. What I'm going to do is go to elements and I'm going to add just a line just for the purposes of showing you guys where that crease mark will be. I'm going to remove it before I save and print the card. I just want to show you guys the separation between the front and the back cover so that when we're planning out our card, we know exactly where we need to place things and nothing will get in the middle area. So now we're going to add our artwork. I'm going to go to uploads and you can click on upload file and upload whatever artwork, illustrations, clip art, whatever you want to add to your card design. I'm uploading my watercolor flower illustration. So I've uploaded it as a transparent PNG. What that means is that there is no background of this flower. I'll show you how to add a color. If you go up here to the circle, it's like a rainbow circle. It says background color. You can change the color of your card if you would like. I'm going to leave mine blank. So this is my image. You can add multiple images if you want. Like here I have a few. You can resize whatever you want. If you go here, you'll see this little rotation mark. You can rotate your images. You can delete them. You can click these 3 more buttons here and duplicate. So you can add multiple of them. I'm going to make a card design just with this flower. So I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to rotate it a little bit. I just want to make sure that I'm not crossing over that middle mark where my card is going to be folded in half. So I can resize it a little bit, make it larger. And then keep in mind what you want to do with your card, what the card's purpose is. Maybe you're making a birthday card, a thank you card, a holiday card. So if you want to add text, make sure you're leaving room for that. I'm going to be adding text on this left-hand corner of the cover. So I'm just going to make a border of the flowers down here. I'm going to duplicate it again and rotate just so that I have a nice border. Okay, so now I'm going to add text to my front cover. So I'm going to hit text here and you can browse and see some of their options in pre-made templates of text, but I'm going to add a little bit of body text here. I think I'll make it a birthday card. I'm going to go to the font options up here. I'm going to click on it just to show you guys some options you can do. Some bold text, fun cursive bold text. They have a lot of options. I think this one's pretty. You can resize by clicking these corners. I think I'm going to use this one. And then I also want to change the color of the font. You can leave it black if you'd like, or you can play with the font to fit better with your images. I think yellow is cute, maybe a dark purple, maybe a green. It looks like Canva has grabbed the colors from my image to make it easy to find colors that coordinate. So I'm just going to add some more of this body text, and I'm going to just add it close to the bottom of this left back cover. And I'm just going to type in my shop name, and then we're going to change the font. I'm going to leave it black, and then I'm also going to add one more bit of body text to link back to my website. I like to make the website name a more simpler font so that people can read it easier. Okay, I'll leave it like that, and I'll just make sure that it's aligned. And then you can put, if you have like a little icon or something for your branding or logo, I would add it there as well. So at this point, I am going to click on that line that I placed in the middle to separate, and I'm going to make sure I delete that. All right, so now that we have that ready, I'm going to go to share, and I'm going to download this. So I'm going to download it as a JPEG. So we are back on Canva to make our letter size 8.5 by 11 inch paper. So I'm going to go create a design, custom size, 8.5 by 11 inches. Now go to uploads, and I'm going to upload that card we just made and just saved as a JPEG. I'm going to resize it to fit. So we have one up top, and then we can duplicate and then drag another one to fit right below it. And now we have two A2 size cards on one page of letter size paper. Okay, so what I recommend is to save these as a JPEG or a PDF. However, there are some printing recommendations I have to make sure these cards print accurately. You want to make sure that these are going to be printed at full size, so there is no border on your paper. So here is an example of a PDF of these cards printed without changing the printing settings. It has printed with a white border. So on your print settings, you're going to select your 8.5 by 11 inch letter size paper, and you're going to look for the settings that print borderless. Each printer will be different, but look up your printer model and select these settings. I find that with my printer, it has the easier settings to print my JPEGs as borderless. So if you're struggling with the PDF, try a JPEG of the image instead and change those settings. Okay, so now that these are printed, the next step is to cut them out and fold them. I'm using a Fiskars paper cutter, but feel free to cut with scissors or use whatever paper cutting tool you'd like. And I'm cutting at the 5.5 inch mark. Most greeting card paper is between 200 to 300 grams. I've seen cards lighter and heavier than that, but that seems to be the typical mid-range. The paper I like to use is usually between 220 and 250 grams. Okay, so after cutting all of them out, I'm using a scoring tool and creating the fold mark at 4.25 inches, which is the halfway point on each greeting card. This will allow me to fold each perfectly in half. You can smooth the fold out further with your hands or a ruler, or set something heavy on them so they lay flat. And here are the beautiful finished greeting cards, absolutely lovely, printed on Koala papers. But let's get into the details. So here is our lightest weight paper. It is the 48-pound matte photo paper, which is 180 grams. It is a one-sided matte paper, so you can only print on the matte side, and the inside is more of a rough, unfinished texture. This is a lighter weight for a greeting card. However, I really like the finish of it. It's a fairly bright white. The colors pop and printed nicely. It's very smooth. There's a light texture which makes the paper look a bit higher quality, and it is a little more flexible and more bendable. So I would keep that in mind if you're looking for a heavier, more durable weight paper. Our second test is the 66-pound double-sided matte photo paper. This is 250 grams, which is the weight I typically use for selling my greeting cards. This is a perfect mid to high range weight for greeting cards. I could tell right away it's very durable. It was very easy to cut, crease, and fold. The matte is a lovely, smooth, flat finish, very nice to the touch, and yet there is also that subtle texture on it, like with the 48-pound. It kind of mimics the texture on like a smooth hot press watercolor paper. I think the illustrations pop really beautifully on it. The colors are true and vibrant, and I'm really liking this paper. All right, our third test is the 72-pound satin ultra premium photo paper. It's a 270 grams weight. It is a little bit more flexible because of that satin finish, and it does feel lighter than the 66-pound matte paper. This paper has a beautiful shimmery shine to it, but because of the satin coating, I do think this is probably going to be better as a photo paper or a standalone art paper, which is what they recommend. I do think because of that satin finish, it might be hard to write on it. So let's quickly test writing on the inside of each card with a black ink pen. Okay, first up is the 48-pound matte. Pretty easy to write on and no smearing. Next up is the 66-pound double-sided matte. Because it's double-sided, the ink lays on top of it a bit more, but no smears, and seems to be working well for writing. And lastly, the 72-pound satin paper. It is a little too glossy to write on. My pen was skipping a little bit, and it did smear the ink. So that's my fault for trying to make a satin photo paper work as a greeting card. It is still a lovely paper, but probably not for cards. All right, and here are my final thoughts on which paper I think is best for greeting cards. I really loved both of the matte papers. I think the 48-pound matte and the 66-pound double-sided matte are both great options. However, the winner for me is the 66-pound because I love the durability, the finish, and I could see myself printing and selling these cards professionally. I will definitely still use and recommend the 48-pound for maybe hobby card making, gifting during the holidays, but I do prefer a heavier weight card for selling. As far as the satin photo paper, it's a gorgeous photo paper. I love the way my artwork looks on it. However, I'm going to just be printing them as a standalone art print rather than a card where people can write on them. All right, thank you so much for watching this tutorial and review. All of the products will be linked in the description box below. I hope that it was a helpful tutorial. Let me know in the comments what you thought of these papers and if you have any questions. Thanks so much and see you next time.